The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge attended the memorial service honouring Prince Philip today. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge made the decision to bring their two eldest children to Westminster Abbey so they could pay their respects to their great-grandfather Prince Philip. Kate stunned in a brand new Alessandra rich pleated polka dot silk crepe de chine midi dress. Princess Charlotte wore a tartan dress, navy blue coat and black patent leather shoes for the service, and had a pretty ribbon in her hair. George, who has made a number of outings with his parents to major sporting events in recent months, was his father's double in a navy blue suit and tie. George, who will one day be monarch, and Charlotte's appearance marks a key moment in their public lives, being the first major televised church service they have attended. Adorable Princess Charlotte stole the show, while Prince George looked typically serious. Princess Charlotte charmed the Archbishop of Canterbury and smiled to photographers as she made her grand entrance at Westminster Abbey. At one point the schoolgirl princess pulled a funny face after apparently catching sight of herself on a screen, prompting viewers to giggle over her sparkling personality. In contrast, her 8-year-old brother George, the future king, kept a straight face as he walked by his father's side and was on his very best behaviour throughout the service. As Charlotte walked past her second cousin Mia, the daughter of Sarah and Mike Tyndall, the little girls shared an excited wave. George and Charlotte have appeared on the Buckingham Palace balcony for Trooping the Colour and joined their parents on official tour when younger, but this is the first time they have taken part in an event on this scale. Princess Charlotte has become a favourite of royal fans thanks to her sassy personality. The 6-year-old princess has been snap-pulling funny faces, waving to photographers, and even sticking her tongue out on a family outing. The monarch attended the service at Westminster Abbey held to commemorate the life of Prince Philip. The Queen walked into the Abbey arm-in-arm with her son Prince Andrew, before taking a seat in the front row next to Prince Charles and Camilla. The monarch looked visibly upset as she listened to the British national anthem. The Queen appeared to become emotional as the anthem was sung. Tears in her eyes. The Queen looked emotional and teary as she paid her final respects to her beloved husband Prince Philip at his memorial service. Prince Charles was also visibly overcome with emotion and wiped his eyes as his father's life was honoured at a special mass in Westminster Abbey. Her granddaughter Princess Beatrice was also seen in tears, she using hand to cover her face. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, along with their two oldest children Prince George and Princess Charlotte, sat in the row behind as they listened to tributes to the late Duke, who passed away in April last year. Her Majesty also paid a touching tribute to her late husband wearing a special brooch that he gave to her over 50 years ago. The green ruby brooch, also known as the scarab brooch, was created by celebrated jeweller Andrew Gremer, and bought by the Duke of Edinburgh in 1966. The Queen dressed in an elegant forest green coat for the occasion, which she teamed with a matching green hat with maroon trim. The monarch wore pearl earrings and black gloves. The Duke of Edinburgh, who passed away last April at the age of 99, had dark green as his official livery colour. The Duke of Edinburgh's official livery colour is dark green, known as Dinborough Green. The Duke of Edinburgh was laid to rest last spring, when singing was banned and numbers were limited to just 30 people under COVID restrictions. His memorial service today, however, marks a more uplifting affair, with the Queen said to have been actively involved in the day's planning. In a particularly personal touch, Her Majesty opted to feature the flowers she and Philip had on their wedding day, white orchids, in the service. Orchids featured in the Queen's wedding bouquet in 1947. After the ceremony finished, the Queen was escorted by her son the Duke of York out of the Abbey via Poets' Corner. She was later pictured being helped into her car by Andrew. She is thought to have returned to Windsor Castle, now her permanent home. The monarch has only attended one major event with the public since her stay in hospital last October due to health concerns. The ailing Queen is said to be suffering from mobility issues but is too proud to be seen with a wheelchair in public. There was some uncertainty over her ability to show up due to the long walk down the aisle to her seat. However, the Queen looked steady on her feet with the help of a walking stick. The Queen, along with other senior members of the royal family, wore green in tribute to her husband of 73 years, who died last April. Ahead of the service, a small crowd of royal fans gathered outside Westminster Abbey to catch a glimpse of those attending. Hundreds of people, including nearly 30 foreign royals, politicians and scores of representatives from Philip's charities, are gathering for the special Thanksgiving service in honor of the country's longest-serving consort. The memorial event also recognizes the importance of Philip's legacy in creating opportunities for young people, promoting environmental stewardship and conservation, and supporting the armed forces. The 700 charitable organizations he supported throughout his life, as well as his eponymous The Duke of Edinburgh Award, feature prominently in the service as well. The Queen's husband of 73 years sadly passed away aged 99 on the 9th of April 2021, and his funeral was held just over a week later, with only 30 people in attendance at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. The Queen and Prince Philip's love story. When it comes to love stories, the tale of Princess Elizabeth falling head over heels for strapping soldier, Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, is worthy of its own Disney film. It's one that goes back to the 30s, spanning over 70 years, making Philip the longest-serving royal consort in British history. He first caught her eye in the summer of 1939 when Princess Elizabeth was just 13 years old. He was the Prince of Greece and 5 years her senior, about to embark on a career with the Royal Navy. Elizabeth and her sister Margaret were on a trip with their parents to Dartmouth's Britannia Royal Naval College, their father's alma mater. It was here where their dashing cadet cousin Philip entered the scene. According to Marion Crawford, the princess's governess, it was Philip's Viking good looks, fair hair and blue eyes that attracted Elizabeth. The little princesses, that he came aboard the king's yacht for meals, and caused Elizabeth to turn pink-faced. Some of the Queen's relatives spoke openly about Elizabeth's fondness for Philip during those early days. Elizabeth was truly in love from the very beginning. The engagement didn't come for a while, in fact 8 years later, after the war, in 1947, with the marriage taking place at Westminster Abbey in November that same year. Little did Elizabeth know that in a matter of 5 years, she would ascend to the throne and take her vows as Queen Elizabeth II. Fast forward to Philip's death on the 9th of April 2021, and the couple had been married a total of 74 years, with 4 children, 8 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren. Side by side they had travelled all over the world, from Australia to America, Africa and India, flying the flag for the Commonwealth headed up by Her Majesty. They've shared total commitment to their duties and service, and they always had each other to lighten the burden of public life with a little bit of laughter. In private he called her Lilibet, darling or sausage, and they loved a telly supper together.